I'm Davide Giannella, and I'm the founder of Acadia Architecture. I was involved several years ago on the remodel and addition of this house. We designed pretty much everything, including the interiors, and we got the building permits and all the site approval for this project. I really, of course, the first item that everybody notices is the amazing views, but the problem with the existing house was it felt really disjointed from everything else. It was like a lower level, completely separated from the upper level. The stairs were exterior. It was like 2-3 boxes put together. So what we decided to do was to have a simplified, very clean, unified look for the whole house. And so we thought, since it's a hilly house, how about a roof that is continuous, almost like a wing that takes off from the hill. And it's very clean because that way when we go uphill on the back garden and we look down into the roof, it will be a clean surface, a very simple geometric surface. And there was also a way to emphasize the view at both levels of the house. If it was too tall, it would have blocked the view from the back garden. If it was too low, it would have blocked the views from the second floor. And so there was a good angle that we chose. And at the same time, of course, the owner was worried about his own privacy, wanted to open as much as possible the house to the outdoors, but didn't want traffic, other eyes to come into the house. So we designed the parapets as very tall walls that have some warm finishes, mostly wood, and that are at the right height to sit inside and look outside, but not to be seen from the street. And also to block in part also the sound. Both floors were connected by what I call the elevator made of glass. There is no elevator in the house, but there's this tower of steel and glass that goes all the way from the lower level, second, and even touches the roof, because at the top of it there is a big skylight that is the same size as this glass shaft. So this tower pretty much is visible from the outside balconies, inside the house, the patio, the lower patio. So it really brings light throughout almost 3 levels. To me, that's almost the connecting feature. We have 2 strong horizontal lines, the first level, the second level, with the parapets, and this perpendicular vertical glass tower that connects them. It was a very clean shape. The city liked it a lot, and we went with that pretty much. Other elements and feature, we wanted durability, so we use very strong materials. Some of them are unusual for a single-family residential project. For example, the whole staircase is built and clad in its railing with brick metal. So a very sturdy material, very strong, like a machine metal. That really speaks of almost an industrial modernism. And it doesn't require any maintenance. It will withstand a lot of use. Likewise, all the exterior parapets are clad in ipe, which is a very, very strong and durable wood. Never needs any maintenance or repainting or anything like that. Doesn't warp, and is a much better option than those synthetics materials that look good from far, but they're very hot when you touch them, and they're a little bit plasticky. Instead, in this house, every material is really sincere, organic. We use the same elevation for the balconies as the finished floor of the house. So when we open the big sliding doors, there is really one continuous surface of ceramic tile, undisturbed, continuing to the outside, which makes the house feel much wider than it is. We had some freestanding elements to separate the space. We have a little bit of a sort of peninsula 3-sided fireplace that divides the living room from the dining area. So there are no real walls per se. The ceiling is uninterrupted. There is a little sort of tower element that contains the refrigerator and does the same thing, separating a little bit the kitchen preparation area, the one that you want to keep more private, from the rest of the more public zone. The nice thing about the lower level is that it almost has its own independent access via the garage, and so it works as a junior ADU, so to speak, a connected ADU to the house, although it's not. And the atrium, there was the element missing, the foyer for the house, before you will enter from an exterior stair directly to the upper level. This glass tower that I mentioned before comes downstairs, follows the angle of the property line, so it's now parallel to the house. It invites you to enter the house from the side. which is a more interesting approach, I feel, than just having a straight-on door. Um, Likewise, we employed very, very large windows, everything we could to make this house feel bigger than actually it is. And they're all studied proportionally as to what we need. For example, the one that is over the dining room is horizontal and long, like a slot. So it keeps you privacy. You don't have harsh light on you when you eat, but you can see the sky and so on. We designed this house 6 years ago, and we just met again with the builder, and really it withstood this, the time. There is really nothing that has changed. The doors open very well, the big sliding doors. So the expensive materials really turn out to be very functional and resilient over time. One challenge that the city approached us with this project was how to manage all the outdoors, because this is a hilly side, so drainage, how will the water be kept around the house and away from it? So we studied that very carefully. We have a system of drainage all around the house. As we were doing that, we realized we had a huge crawl space into the hill. And so that gave us an opportunity to excavate it further as we waterproof it and make it a beautiful wine cellar that was automatically cool just because of the presence of the earth and the concrete. So this house, in a way, I like to think, has many secrets. From outside, it's relatively compact. Inside is an explosion of open space, light, interesting spaces downstairs, again with this canteen and the lower unit, so to speak, downstairs. So I think these are, in a summary, the elements that make this house special for